A very beautiful morning to you. Welcome once again. This is Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. And we're reaching you live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alaafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. It's another day to talk about issues that affect us as Nigerians because it's the business of you and I. So this morning, I welcome you to Perspectives Unlimited. Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies. In a bit to keep you abreast about happenings around Nigeria, and of course, again, because when it comes to national issues, it's what concerns every one of us. Because we all want a better Nigeria. And a better Nigeria starts from us all recognizing and having conversations, sharing our perspectives about how much or how we think that Nigeria can grow. So this morning, I welcome you again. My name is Toluwaleke Alli, and you can watch us live on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, and sure to share with friends and family members across board. And also we're live on YouTube at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. At Wells Radio 89.3 FM. You can listen to us via our website on www.wellsradio893.com. www.wellsradio893.com, and also across radio directories at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Once again, welcome. Together with the analyst in the studio this morning, as I said before, we're delving into the national dailies to take a look at stories across board. But first, let's check out the front pages across some of our national dailies this morning. Starting off with the Vanguard newspaper this morning, the lead story reads, Alleged coup, ex-minister Silva, retired general, others charged with treason. And it has a rider suspect to be arraigned at Federal High Court, Abuja, today. And the story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper for this morning. Tinubu removes Edun Dangiwa as ministers. That's on page 9. 2027, Enugu visits Tinubu, declares total support. That's on page 14. NGE flays attempt by NBC to gag broadcasters. The story can be found on page 33 of the Vanguard newspaper for this morning. I made mistakes, but did my best. Jonathan replies Atiku. And that story can be found on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper for today. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, ADC slams Tinubu, NAS over 7% budget for army. That's on page 3. Nigeria accounts for over 1.5 million children with sickle cell disease. That's on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. Gombe-led ADC disowns elective convention video, awaits court verdict. That's also on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety in opposition as Supreme Court decides fate of ADC, Labour Party, PDP today. And that's on page 6. Federal government files 13-count treason charge against alleged coup plotters. That's on page 4. NBC guideline. Editors, OB, CSOs decry media gag regulations. That's on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. On page 28, Kwara to compensate slain wounded soldiers of Kemanji attack. Still on page 28, El Rufai to remain in ICPC custody as court denies bail application. Tinubu rejigs economic team amid pressure to balance reforms with relief. And that story is on page 6. 2027, Otomi unveils Obedient Connect platform to mobilize Nigerians. That's on page 7. On page 28, EFCC alert on impersonations as ICPC dismisses 50 billion naira bribery claim. And the final story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning, Cross River reports COVID-19 case, activates response center. Those are the stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. The front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, now above the masthead, NAF airstrikes hit Sambisa, kill terrorists. That's on page 16. No leader can govern without making mistakes. Jonathan replies Atiku. That's on page 3. COVID-19 returns to Nigeria. And it has a rider, Cross River confirms case, activates emergency response. The story is also on page 16 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper for this morning. Federal government to arraign alleged coup plotters on 13-count charge today. And it has a rider, retired Major General, ex-naval captain, 7 police inspector, Timmy Silva, 3 others listed. And that's on page 2. El Rufai to remain in ICPC custody till June. And it has a rider as well as court fails to rule on bail application. Tinubu removes Edu, names Oyedele as finance minister. Dharma to replace Dangiwa in housing ministry. That's on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Apprehension, Supreme Court hears PDP, ADC appeals. And it has a rider, more defections at House of Reps. PDP loses 5 members, APC 2. Story can be found on pages 4 and 28 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. UBEC unlocks 100 billion naira unaccessed funds to boost basic education. That's on page 3. NBC's threats to broadcasters injurious to journalism. That's according to NGE, and it's on page 16. PDP crisis. Damagam, others commence contempt proceedings against Anyang Amukita. That's on page 2. And the health column on page 6, disinfectant sprays may quietly damage lungs. That's according to experts. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, Tinubu sacks Edu Dangiwa. That's on page 5. FCT students sit WAEC exams amid teachers' strike. That's on page 16. Chinese quarantined for COVID in Cross River. That's on page 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Silva, others charged over plot to oust Tinubu. The story begins on the front page and continues on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. NUT staff slums dies on way to work. That's on page 16. Labour Party fixes April 28 for convention, unveils committees. That's also on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper for this morning. Despite intimidation, democracy will survive. That's according to the president, and it's on page 22. El Rufai to remain in custody till June. The story is on page 4. Finally, to the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, above the masthead, PDP crisis, court moves against Ayawu, INEC chair. And that's on page 29. Cross River COVID-19 case sparks NCDC contact tracing. That's on page 7. On page 18, trial. El Rufai may miss ADC presidential primary. Oyo 2027, Adelabu may resign after Tinubu meeting. That's on page 2. The lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper reads, alleged coup plot, Silver, 5 others arraigned, officers' wives seek justice. And it has 3 riders, ex-Bayelsa governor, others may bag life imprisonment if convicted. Retired generals, police inspector among 6 facing 13 counts treason, terrorism charges. Wives of military officers seek justice for detained spouses. And that's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. More PDP reps defect to APC, ADC. That's on page 7. Gunmen kill female man-o-war officer in Oyo highway ambush. That's on pages 4 and 5. Abure vows appeal after appeal court okays Usman Labour Party chair. And that's on page 29. And those are the stories across the front pages of some of our national dailies for this morning. Today, Wednesday, the 22nd of April, 2026. Joining me on the conversation this morning is our analyst, Chukwemeka Munachi. So good morning, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Tolu.
Good to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with the lead story on the Punch newspaper for this morning. And of course, across national dailies this morning. Alleged coup plot, Silver, 5 others arraigned, officers' wives seek justice. The federal government will today arraign 6 individuals, including 2 retired senior military officers and a serving police inspector, before the Federal High Court in Abuja over an alleged plot to wage war against Nigeria and overthrow the president. The defendants, retired Major General Mohammed Ibrahim Ghana, retired Naval Captain Erasmus Ochegobia Victor, Inspector Ahmed Ibrahim, Zakari Umaru, Bukar Kashim Goni, and Abdulkadir Sani are billed to appear before Justice Joyce Abdulmalik. Also named in the charge, but said to be at large, is former Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timipre Silva. The defendants are facing 13 counts bordering on conspiracy, attempt to commit treason, terrorism, failure to disclose security intelligence, financing terrorism, and money laundering. The charge filed on Monday by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and signed by the Director of Public Prosecutions, Rotimi Oyedepo, SAN, accused them of offenses ranging from alleged attempts to overthrow the government to terrorism-related financing. And according to the prosecution, the defendants allegedly conspired in 2025 to levy war against the state to overpower the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And they are also accused of failing to report alleged knowledge of a planned treasonable act involving one Colonel Mohammed Al-Hassan Mahaji and others. And the government further alleged that the defendants, knowing that a treasonable act was intended to be committed, did not give information thereof with all reasonable dispatch to either the president or a peace officer. And so they were also accused of failing to prevent the alleged offense, stating they did not use any reasonable endeavors to prevent the commission of the offense. Inspector Ahmed Ibrahim and Zakari Umaru were also accused of attending meetings allegedly linked to a plot in a bid to further a political ideology which may seriously destabilize the constitutional structure of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Abdulkadir Sani was accused of receiving 2 million naira on September 23, 2025, while Bukar Kashim Goni was allegedly retained to have retained 50 million naira from accounts linked to A&A Express Link concept. Also, Zekari Omar was also accused of receiving 10 million naira cash from the said Colonel Maji and retaining 8.8 million in his account, while the inspector also received 1 million naira from that same source. And then the offences, according to the charge, contravene sections 37 subsection 2, section 40 subsection B, 26 subsection 1, 2 subsection 3 subsection D, 12 subsection A, 13 subsection A, 1 subsection A, and 16 subsection 1 A and B of the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022, as well as the provisions of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act, also of 2022. Now, of course, if we all recall, this development is coming amid widening investigations into an alleged coup plot that has led to the arrest of many within the military and security circles. Now, in October 2025, the federal government cancelled the Independence Day parade, and stories that came out from different sources, linked that to an alleged plot to overthrow the government. But the defense headquarters came out and said, no, that didn't happen. They dismissed the connection. And then weeks later, the authorities came out to confirm that 16 military officers have been arrested and 2 other people were declared wanted. And then in January, the defense headquarters made a U-turn, and then they confirmed that there was an internal investigation that actually established that there was a plan to overthrow President Bola Tinubu, and that the suspects would be facing military disciplinary panels. But following that, families of the detained officers then staged protests and demanded transparency at this point. So now they will be facing judgment today, but their wives, their spouses are demanding for clarity and for fairness in the trial that they are going to face, both in court and those that would also be facing military trial.
You see, when this thing broke out 2025, Nigerians, first of all, let me start by saying that coup plotting is not the best for Nigeria. You understand? It has never been the best. It has never ushered in something good. I'm totally against coup plotting. When the news broke out 2025, the military came out to deny it. So there is a lot of ambiguity, because when Nigerians were told, that's why you see this case is not exciting anybody, because Nigerians still believe there are so many theories to this story we are hearing. Because initially they told Nigerians that there was nothing like coup plotting, and everybody believed, only for you to make a U-turn after some time. Oh, there was a coup plotting. Come on, you're not talking to kids. You understand? So people are reading a lot of meanings into it because of the initial denial that there was no coup plotting. Only for you to turn around and arraign some people and say that actually the plot. Why did you not make your investigation before going public? So that's why Nigerians are not even, many people don't even know that there's a trial going on, except the ones because people have believed that if you turn around to say there was a coup plotting, you must have your own agenda. By telling Nigerians again there was coup plotting when you initially told them that there was nothing like that. So why suddenly a change of story, a change of narrative, that now there's a coup plotting? So people are not looking at the whole story. There are a lot of theories around it, but I'm not going to say anything about it because it's still in the court of law. And the thing is this: coup plotting is not what we need in Nigeria. If government must be removed from power, it must be through democratic means. That's where I stand. And that's why Nigerians are the people who will determine who governs this country. Not through, because I've lived my life through coups. I have seen coups. I have seen the devastation that coups can bring upon a country. I have seen the problem it will create. You understand? So I believe that I'm a Democrat. I believe that if we I still believe that what we are practicing right now is not even democracy. But since we have told ourselves that we are practicing democracy, the only way to remove anybody from power is through the ballot box, PVC. Nigerians should go and get their PVC. If you don't like a government, you can't remove a government through the barrel of the gun. It should be done democratically through the use of your PVC. That is why when they say that power belongs to the people, power belonging to the people is through their PVC. If you don't have your PVC, go and get your PVC. That's the only thing I will tell Nigerians. But the issue of coup plotting, there are many theories. People still don't believe. Some people still don't believe that there was anything like coup. But the government is telling us there was a coup and people are standing trial. So let us watch and see how it will end at the end of the day. We have read out a lot of names, accusations here and there. I know that coup plotting is not a tea party. It's not a walk in the park. It takes a lot. You understand? And coup plotting is dangerous for society, for everybody in a country, because you don't go. People don't get involved in coup plotting because of for the sake of it. There must be reasons why they want to do coup plot, but that's not the best way to go. And in Africa, let me say it, all over West Africa, if you see why, look at the one that happened in Benin Republic. The only way to safeguard coup plotting in Africa is good governance and inclusive government. When you alienate the citizens from governance, when you don't bring them in, when you don't do what the citizens are looking up to you, you are creating a room for such things to happen. But when there is inclusive government, no section will be excluded. No people are carried along. And the people and the electoral integrity. If election lacks integrity, you are planting a seed that may germinate into something that will be monstrous to the country. So, includes good governance, electoral integrity, and trust in the institutions of the state. These are safeguards to coup plotting. If these things are lacking, people may begin to think through the barrel of the gun, which is not the best way to have a change of government. Coup plotting is an anathema. It is not good. I don't subscribe to that because I lived through coups in Nigeria. I can't tell you the number of coups I've witnessed as a Nigerian. And they always come with promises, but at the end of the day, it becomes a nightmare.
All right, let us move on to another story. Since you mentioned before about democracy, and let's move on to another story in the Vanguard newspaper. Democracy will survive though opposition undermine its values. And that's according to the president. President Bola Tinubu has said that democracy will survive in Nigeria. And also he accused the opposition politicians of undermining democratic values while claiming to uphold them. The president made the remarks on Tuesday at the State House while receiving a high-level delegation from Enugu State led by Governor Pitamba. According to him, he said that, in his words, we'll do everything to ensure that the Nigerian dream is realized. The hope you enunciated in your remarks is not a pipe dream. It is real and achievable, and we will achieve it together. And then he said democracy will survive despite all intimidation. He said to ignore the naysayers, stay focused, and then he said when you succeed and they are angry, let them be. So he went ahead to say that he's not going to, it doesn't lose sleep over criticism because his government is committed to building a nation of bright hope for our children. He went ahead to talk about how the opposition, they are leaders who have privatized electricity, which is not working. And so he went on to say that to build a nation of bright hope and joyful people and leave our children with a life worthy of pride. So he said it's because they don't believe in the democracy that they preach about. And so they shouldn't pay attention to them. Them now, meaning the opposition. The opposition that, according to the president, do not practice democracy.
Okay.
But he has said that he is upholding democracy.
Okay. That's the total contradiction. Complete total contradiction. Number one, I will take it one after the other. Nigerian dream. What is Nigerian dream? Nigeria has no dream. The country has no dream. Quote me anywhere. What is the dream of Nigeria? I said it that this country seems to be abstract to a lot of people. When you hear of the dreams of our founding fathers, what was the dream of our founding fathers? There was no dream. Our founding fathers were regional. They were minding their regions. Nigeria was not in their, Nigeria, as to say in Nigeria, it was not in their calculation. It was regional thing. And that's why we thrived. The confederation, the weak center and the strong regions. That's why you hear restructuring. When we restructure this country is a beautiful piece of art. When we restructure Nigeria and we go regional, we restructure and each region takes care of itself. That's where you see the beauty of this country. But this thing we are doing, you bring everything together, you call it federalism. And meanwhile, we are practicing unitary system of government. It's never federalism. It's never. So, President talking of Nigerian dream. What is Nigerian dream? Go and check countries who have dream. They know where they will be in 2030, 2050. There's a dream. How can a country have a dream whereby each administration will come and start afresh? There is no continuity. There's no continuum in our government. So what is the dream? That goes to show you that there's nothing like a dream. If there is a blueprint from the onset, every administration will build on that blueprint. But because there's no blueprint, there's nothing on the ground for you to work upon. That is why there's no dream. There's nothing like Nigerian dream. So that's number one. Number two, the president is saying that opposition undermining democracy. Is not true. Opposition is not undermining democracy. Who is shrinking the political space? Is it the opposition? Who is shrinking the political space? It's not the opposition. Who is making making it difficult for who is creating the atmosphere whereby who is making it difficult for Nigerians to even understand whether we are in democracy? We don't even know what we are practicing again. It's not the opposition. So the president should look in the mirror and ask himself, look in the mirror. Whatever you see in the mirror, tell yourself the truth. There is need. That is why this country is not good. No transparency, no honesty or purpose. How can you say that opposition is shrinking is undermining as democracy? Let's tell ourselves the truth. It is not true. And another one again, say bright future. We are creating bright future. Nigeria our debt has risen to 152.39 trillion. Is there any bright future in that? We build a future for our children. Which future are you building with 152.39 trillion? Share that among Nigerians and know how much each person is owing. What is the bright future in it? So, sincerity of purpose is what will make a country to go forward. And let me tell you something. It is not ideal. It's not ideal for the president to be saying what he's saying. Because instead, create a level playing field. I believe in democracy is about pluralism. Different opinions coming together for contest of ideas. When you are shrinking that space, you don't believe in democracy.
All right. This is Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM. We'll go on a break now. Perspectives returns shortly.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Let me guess, you enjoy talking. You always have something to say. And somehow, people actually enjoy listening to you. So why are you not on radio yet? What are you waiting for? Wells Radio Media Academy is giving you the perfect opportunity to become a certified broadcaster in just 6 weeks. You'll get hands-on studio experience, learn from industry professionals, and understand what it takes to actually own the mic. From radio presentation to news writing to public speaking and social media, everything you need all in one place. Admission is in progress right now as resumption is on the 18th of May 2026. Admission form is available for just 5,000 naira only. This is not one of those maybe someday opportunities. This is now. Don't just sit back and listen to other people shine. Step up and let your voice be heard. For further inquiries, call 0706-840-7359 or 0803-509-3394. Begin your journey to becoming a certified broadcaster today.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
right, welcome back. This is Still Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM. And yes, you can be a part of the conversation this morning. Drop your comments on Facebook at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wales Radio 893 FM fan page. And then you can put a call through to the studio lines 0916 893 1000. 0916 893 1000 or 0915 333 4893. 0915 333 4893 or 0911 333 893. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, Ruth calling from Alli.
Welcome to the show, Ruth.
Yes, thank you. President Tinubu claims that the opposition is not practicing democracy. My own question to him is his own government practicing democracy? Because they gave us renewed hope. They keep promising us, but nothing has been done. They are just focusing on the 2027 ambition. So instead of them blaming others for their failure, why can't their priority be on delivering real results and meeting the country needs? What we want from them is action. We are tired of all this now. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for your take on the show this morning, Ruth. 0911 333 893. And you can also drop your text messages on those lines or your WhatsApp messages on 0915 4999 893. 0915 4999 893. Drop your WhatsApp messages right there and we will be sure to take your messages this morning. All right, let us move on to other stories. Okay, let's pick this call first. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show.
These are them from
Welcome to the show, Aderonke.
Yeah, concerning President Tinubu that says they're not practicing democracy, he himself is not practicing democracy because he's truly practicing democracy. They want to turn Nigeria into one party state by all the governments. They are decamping to his own party. This is not supposed to be. And we do not even have freedom of speech in the country. You can't do anyhow. Just take a look at it. So he himself is not practicing democracy. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Aderonke. Okay, let us move on to other stories. Talking about the opposition, today seems to be a very critical day for the opposition, ADC, Labour Party, PDP, as seen in the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety in the opposition as the Supreme Court decides fate of ADC, Labour Party, PDP today. And here we have the major opposition parties battling it out in court. All eyes are on the Supreme Court as Nigeria awaits today's ruling on the legitimate leadership of prominent opposition political parties in the lead-up to next year's general election. The Apex Court, in respect to the timeline set by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for the election, had last week elected to undertake an accelerated hearing of the leadership and structural disputes rocking the People's Democratic Party (PDP), the Labour Party (LP), and the African Democratic Congress (ADC). And at the core of the cases are questions of legitimate leadership, party control, and compliance with constitutional processes, issues that directly affect each party's ability to organize congresses, conduct primaries, and submit candidates to the Independent National Electoral Commission. And party stakeholders have expressed apprehension that the Supreme Court's ruling in those cases would have far-reaching implications for major opposition parties, stressing that the parties need backup plans to ensure that an adverse pronouncement does not shut them out of crucial preparations to participate in the poll. To be recalled that INEC had fixed a timetable for the 2027 general elections. The presidential and National Assembly elections will be held on Saturday, January 16th, 2027, while the governorship and state houses of assembly elections will follow on February 6, 2026. Now, here we are. Opposition parties at crossroads, chaos everywhere. But today is very critical. because the judgment today will determine whether or not majority of these parties will be able to get themselves back in preparation for the 2027 elections.
Okay, let's talk about what the president said, that the opposition is undermining democracy. Go and check what Bajabiamila said. He told somebody, stay there and scatter them. Stay in ADC and scatter them. Go check it. It's everywhere. Is that democracy? You planted these things. You know what you did. And you came out openly to tell the world, stay there and scatter them. What does that mean? Now we are having, all these opposition parties are having problems. You think it's ordinary? Or they don't know what they are doing? They are not small boys. If you are practicing democracy, but the Fulanis have one proverb. They said, if you are living on a savannah and you build your house with grasses, don't set fire on the savannah because it might likely consume your own very house. APC may experience its own political tremor very soon. Let me tell you something, Tolu. In a democracy where you muzzle, look at what is going on in Benin Republic. Can you call that democracy? It's not. Look at what is going on in Turkey, where the people that are coming to establish a base, military base, to come and help our military. Is that democracy? They have institutions of democracy, but they are not democratic. Look at what is playing out in Tanzania. Look at what is happening in Cameroon. Our not there over here. Is that democracy? These are the things that are undermining growth in Africa, especially West Africa. If we say we are practicing democracy, let us practice it in a way it has been practiced in so many countries and they are still practicing it. But when we say we are practicing the democracy and all we are doing is to create chaos all over the place, we are not practicing democracy. Democracy is not about you alone having a field day. No, it's about contest of ideas. People coming with their own blueprint on how to move the country forward. You are not the only person that has it. But when you shut out others through so many means, either judiciary, either through anything at all, either the electoral empire, you are not a Democrat. For goodness sake, you are not. Why are you afraid? The issue is that create a level playing field. Let there be a level playing field for other parties. Even that's why I still advocate for what do they call it? Individual candidacy. Come out if you want to contest. Yes, you don't belong to any political party. Nigerians can still vote for you. At least you start from local government area. But this one we are doing right now, look at the chaos all over the place. I don't want to say much on this because it's still at the Supreme Court. Today we are going to hear what the Supreme Court will say. Democracy thrives where there is independence, judicial independence, electoral independence, and independence of the press. Now we have. Can you say Nigerian judiciary is independent? Can you say that INEC is independent? INEC came out the other day to say that the INEC chairman does not have an account, that they are forensic. Up to now, they have not told Nigerians who did the forensic analysis. Who did it? Is it INEC? INEC cannot be a judge in his own case. Did they give it to an outside person to do? So it is democracy is about transparency. You leave the institutions to do their work. Don't interfere with them. Because if any democracy where the judiciary has been beheaded is not democracy, honestly speaking, it is not. And do Nigerians have trust in our judicial system? Do they have trust in INEC? These are institutions that will make democracy to thrive. If the people do not have interest or do not have trust in these institutions, then what are you practicing? You are not. And that's why Nigerians have been apolitical. The apathy. Look at all the elections we have done so far. Look at how people were induced to come and vote. If it's democracy, do you induce people? You don't induce them because they know that this is about them. But when you create a situation where they begin to suspect that their vote will not count, that's why people become apolitical. And it is to their own detriment. Because if your vote will not count, why will politicians come and give you a cup of rice? Because your vote will count. So that's why I keep telling Nigerians that the only way to change the narrative or participate in democracy is to come out and vote. Cast your vote. Go and get your PVC. Cast your vote. Don't say that your vote will not count. Who told you? It will count. If you stay away, you have created a space for people to rig election. When you don't come out, you have handed your life over to people. You understand? So LP, PDP, and the ADC and all of look at PDP is even coming out to say they will fill the presidential aspirant. PDP. Wike said it the other day that all the aggrieved members should return. Instead of them returning, many of them are still living. You read it here now that they are camping to ADC and APC. That is it. What caused it? PDP is having problem through Wike. ADC is having problem through one Nafila. I don't even know his name. LP is having problem through Abure and Nena Usman. What is all this? You think it's ordinary? It's not. So I believe that democracy thrives where there is transparency, where there is level playing field for all political parties. Let them come out. You don't muzzle them. You don't gag them. You don't tell them. You don't interfere. You understand? You don't undermine them. When you keep undermining them, it means that you yourself, you are not a Democrat. You are not. If I have something to present to the people, there's a story I want to tell you. When I was writing for a newspaper in Lagos, I won't mention the name, we had an elderly man, very old then. He must be in his 80s. He was one of the secretaries to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He's an Igbo man from Nnewi. The man told us a story in the newsroom. I was very young then. The man said that, I think it's whether 1979, I've forgotten the election, where Chief Obafemi Awolowo participated. The man said that they went to Baba and told him that, other parties are planning to rig. He said Baba Awolowo told them that if Nigerians don't elect me as their president, I will not be their leader. Do we still have such men? Imagine what Chief Obafemi Awolowo said. The old man told us in the newsroom. He said this was what Chief Obafemi, men of principle, do we still have them? We don't have them again. And they all claim to be Awoists. He said Awolowo told them that if Nigerians don't come out to vote for me, I will not be their president. But today, everybody wants to be voted into power by fair or foul means. That is not democracy. These are men that lived. These are men that actually know what democracy is all about. These are principled men. These are men of honor.
0916-893-1000, 0916-893-1000, or 0915-333-4893, 0915-333-4893. You can also call 0911 3333 893, 0911 3333 893. Drop your comments on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. And on WhatsApp, you can drop your comments as well on 0915 4999 893, 0915 4999 893. Back to the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu removes Edun Dangiwa Oyedele elevated to finance minister. President Bola Tinubu has approved a minor cabinet reshuffle in the membership of the Federal Executive Council, FEC, and according to a memo that was signed by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, 2 cabinet members, including Mr. Wale Edun and Ahmed Dangiwa, are to leave the cabinet while their replacements have been named. Edun, until the latest development, was the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, and he has been directed to hand over to Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, who is now taking over as the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy. It was formerly the Minister of State in the ministry, and then also Mr. Mutakha Darma was named as the ministerial nominee and Minister Designate for the Housing and Urban Development Ministry. And then according to the memo directed Dangiwa to hand over to the Minister of State in the ministry, stating that all handing over and taking over processes must be completed before close of business tomorrow, which is April 23rd. And The SGF, while it was explaining the president's decision, said that these changes are aimed at strengthening cohesion, synergy in governance, as well as achieving more impactful delivery on the economy to Nigerians through the renewed hope agenda. And he said that the president fully exercised his powers conferred on him by sections 147 and 148 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. Mr. Taiwo Yedele started off as, a member of the committee that came up with the tax reforms that we're presently using now. Yeah. And then he moved to the Minister of State for the finance and coordinated economy. But now he has been named as the Minister of Finance.
Let me tell you something, Tolu. What was Wale Edu's antecedent in that portfolio? Did he do well? Taiwo Yedele came as a taxman with all the controversies around him and all the doublespeak and everything which has not even been resolved. He has been moved to become Minister of Finance. I will tell you a story. When I was growing up, my father said that there was a man who bought a dog in the community, small dog, and the dog started biting children. And the elders came and said, young man, this dog you brought here is biting children. Remove this dog. The man went and sold the dog and went and bought a monkey and brought it into the family. The elders went back and said, what is biting people is still in your house. Do you understand my story? Wale, you're laughing. Taiwo Yedele becoming Minister of Finance. It is not yet Uhuru. That's where I will say. That's what I will say. It's not yet Uhuru. This is a man who started off. How did Nigerians? We have read a lot of things, controversies, things that he will be saying one thing, NRS is saying another thing. He will come out to tell Nigerians. This was a man who went to redeem a camp and said that even prostitutes will pay tax. Only to come out and say no, he didn't say to. This is a man who came out. The newspapers carried it. Oh, there were some problems in the tax or something. He came out again and said no, I didn't say so. And this man has been elevated to that portfolio, Minister of Finance. It's not yet Uhuru. We are still not yet. It's not yet Uhuru for Nigerians. You see, look, Nigeria has a lot of people who can do this job. I don't have any confidence in the Minister of Finance based on what he has done so far, how he has handled this tax issue, that the issues are still hanging. They are not yet resolved. And now you have become the Minister of Finance.
0916-893-1000, 0916-893-1000, or 0915-333-4893, 0915-333-4893. Hello.
Hello, good morning, the beautiful little woman.
Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show, sir.
Now, Ontario Daily, I think I don't as well believe in it because there's nothing going to change in the tide. Look at when you brought about the tax of the thing, because that some few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, he said that he agreed that there was a mistake in the tax reform of the thing, that they're going to try and work on the mistake. And if you can make a mistake on that, and I have now been elevated to the post of what the one that the Wale economy. I forgot his post now. Now,
Minister of Finance.
Minister of Finance, thank you. Now, there's nothing he's going to do that will change the tide. Because the system already is corrupt. He's surrounded by people who will not want him to succeed. He's surrounded by a system, a reform that is dead and arrival. Looking at his CV, though it's a very good one, he has a very good CV. But in this part of the country, your CV is as useless as a paper. Because there's nothing you will do that will change. I mean, what is on ground? It's only going there to show, whatever. So it's not going to, there's nothing he could do. Just like Boy Adelabu, that I find that Boy Adelabu as well would have been shown the way out and be taken to maybe an account department that will better his plot. Look at the former, the guy that was sacked alongside with Wale Edun. Do you know that I didn't even know the name of that minister until yesterday that the guy was the lead of disappointment? That's to tell you that he has not done anything ever since he has been in that office. There are so many of them in that office that are not doing anything. So the point is this: the system should be allowed to function, the economy should be allowed to stable, the economy should be allowed to do well, so that Nigeria can have a style of release by appointing people who will be allowed to work and not be allowed to not that the government will be trying to checkmate what he's doing or trying to control what he's doing. Wale Edun, I'm sorry, I pray succeed, but the system that is on ground will not allow him to do much. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much for your take on the show this morning. We have to go right now. On Facebook, Adekunle Ojo Christina, thank you so much. She says, good morning and well done. Adewumi Kazimadika says, good morning and well done. God will save us from this country, from New Garage. Suleiman Sharif said, good morning. Kudos to everyone in the studio. Regarding to the Minister of Power's resignation, we didn't take that story, actually. The deadline to resign is over according to INEC's guideline. So why now? Adelabu Stewardship as the power minister will precede him in Oyo State, just like band A, B, and D. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. It's time for us to go.
Thank you very much, Tolu, for having me. God save Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much for being a part of the show this morning. As I would always say, the conversation and the growth of Nigeria is dependent on you and I. Let's always do our best wherever we find ourselves to put Nigeria out there in good light. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I am Toluwaleke Alli. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Is invincible.
You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred Awesome Radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred Awesome Radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow.